really matter. Trying to look rich instead of being rich. We don't want to try to impress people. Because when you're in your bed in the nighttime and you're dealing with your own issues, when you start to worry, when you have money and the person that you thought, man, God love you, and she's happy when you have money, or he's happy when you have money, only to discover when there's financial trouble, they turn their back on you.
The money won't drop.
Sometimes I feel like it's like a prostituted relationship.
Yeah.
Like I have to get money to pay you to, somebody said no money, no honey. No money, no honey. And so there are these things that goes on in the relationship as it relates to money. After discussion, a fair discussion, an open, honest discussion. And if the people them don't want to have the discussion, then what you see is what it is. Maybe if it look like a duck, it quack like a duck, maybe it is a duck, and you don't want nothing to be a part of that thing.
But Pastor Tito, what you're saying is so true, because sometimes we're dating with issues. We're dating with issues. The Bible tells us that, man, that in this life you'll have some tribulation.
Mm-hmm.
We understand. And sometimes people come in with a debt issue.
Yes.
They're in debt. But like you said, living tall but short. You see, and you see them all. Oh man, I just ran into you Saks Fifth Avenue, man, last week. Man, we got the same taste. I was bumping into those places, man. Some people got the resources.
Some don't.
Some don't. Some people got the resources. Some people got the streams of income. Some people got investment that's supporting their lives. I like to say this too. Some people get a late start with money. Money is like when they were younger, money never see them. But at some point now, they get a late start now, and they want to be all over the place. I see this guy the other day, man. I meet him at the corner. I said, man, he said, Les, man, you know why I do what I do, man? Because I got a late start, man. He said, man, in my younger life, man, just the train I had, man. But now I got money, man. My wife, I could do some things. He said, I got a late start. But for the younger guys now, they don't know I get a late start. And sometimes we do get a late start when it comes to some things in life. We get a late start. Money did come, but it went through. Nothing stick. So now you're in Saks Fifth Avenue, you're in Macy's, you're in Lords and, well, I don't know if Lords and Taylor wrong. Man, I'm telling you, when I came to this country, I see my sister bought a little pocketbook. The pocketbook this small for $2,500. $2,500. And man, can I really tell you the truth? Some women got the pocketbook, but they never took the tag off.
Yeah.
Because this pocketbook is a return issue. And people don't know that. So you try this person every week, they got something new, but every time they went to get it, they return it. But you trying to match up with them, can't do it. So if you have a debt issue, couples have to understand, we have to talk about debt. DEBT, the debt. You come in a relationship, but you have a debt issue. You have debts. How do we handle that? Before you say, I do.
Mm-hmm.
The debt.
Take care of crisis.
You see, I like you, you like me. You understand me? And then you have some men or women might not understand how to budget. Come come and start budgeting themselves. Because the Bible talks about that. It talks about in the book of Hebrew, talk about the weight. You understand? Lay aside every weight. Come in marriage with weight. You owe Harry. We say in my country, you owe Tom and you owe Dick.
Rob, I read the pay Tom.
You see?
They say it in my country too.
They say it here too.
Yeah.
You owe Tom, you owe Dick and you owe Harry. And you take it from Peter.
The paper.
You pay Pastor Paul. And not pay me Paul. But that's how they say it. But it's true. So we have to look at that now. Somebody must be saying, man, I thank God for this discussion because, and you could start now. Thank you for your cup, man. You didn't give me a cup. But it's not too late to have the discussion. Because why? Debt could cause a divorce.
Mm.
The first time I went to a seminar in Texas, and the guy asked a question, man. How many of you have a life insurance?
Very important.
Man, life what? And put your hand up. And then the bishop asked to put your hand up. Man, if you see pastors putting their hand up. And the bishop turned and says, so you guys preaching and expect the church to bury you. And what you leaving for your family? And man, the man speaking to our lives and say, some of you need to go and get some life insurance. So that's the thing with debt. E.H. Bullard, let's talk about debt. Debt don't make you sleep.
No, not at all.
Debt will make you forget you. I don't know why they're calling me. Debt. Go ahead.
Debt make you. Debt is like the Jehovah's Witness. When it comes knocking at your door, you act like you're not home. It's like, oh my gosh, they didn't leave yet. It's very important. One of the things that my wife and I did, like, we know each other, and sometimes you can know a person too well, where you get very stubborn. But upon me and my wife dating, like, I know you already. She know me already because the attraction. So I know my wife likes to shop. My wife, she looks at me, she know I likes to shop. And when we were dating, those were some of the first things we spoke about. We spoke about shopping. And I told her, I was like, listen, I used to be all over the place. But then when I had heart problems, the shopping did nothing for me. So I just stopped because like nothing mattered anymore. So she explained, listen, well, I like to do this. I said, all right, that's cool. I like to do that too. But instead of instead of shopping every week, let's set out a time. And I actually thank God for this, because this was something that we both enjoy together and we actually both agreed upon. Instead of every week going out splurging, let's set out a certain time. And not just set out a certain time, let's put away for that time. So when we go, we won't be spending credit cards. We won't be putting ourselves in debt. We have this, we're going to go, and this is what we have to spend, and that's it. And that was agreed upon, and it was cool. And we had that issue because I love money. My wife loved money, but like money don't make me happy. But we had those conversations. And in those conversations, we talked about credit. I always been a cash guy, cash and carry, and never really dealt with credit cards and stuff like that. So I had to build credit. But sitting down at the table, it was like, this is what's in front. This is what I'm bringing. I said, all right, well, this is what I'm bringing. And we didn't discriminate against each other at all. I didn't say, whoa. And she didn't look at me and say, whoa. And we worked together. And what happened is later on in our marriage, after like a year in the marriage, because we spoke about child support, because when you get married, it's important. Because if I had child support and I'm not working, they're going to start garnishing my wife's check. And if they take money from my wife because of me, I'm in trouble.
Mhm.
Like, I got a lot to, I'm in trouble. I got to speak. I got to be like, hey, babe, like, I got to get that right. But I got a letter in the mail about taxes. Like, I owe 9 years of taxes, this, and that. And when I got it, it was like, all right. I was at work. My client said, what are you going to do? I said, say I owe taxes. I'm going to pay my taxes. The first thing I did was call my help lead, because we're transparent when it comes to money. I said, babe, I just got this letter in the mail, and this is what it says. She read it. She said, all right, I got somebody for you. She took me to her tax guy. We went, he dealt with my business taxes, and we prayed. I thank God, and all was well. All went well, but it only went well because we worked together. And it only went well because I was transparent. We was transparent with each other.
Amen.
And through that transparency, we began to have more financial conversations where it's like, now let's build each other up, because you don't look too bad. I don't look too bad when it comes to the score. Let's raise the bar. Why we both can't have over 800? Because you want to make some moves and I want to make some moves. So we're working together. When before, in my past marriage, I was horrible. My ex-wife came in with a student loan debt, like $30,000. The first thing I said before we got married was, that's your problem. And boy, I got divorced for a reason, if you ask her, because my attitude and the way I handled things, I didn't do it right. I just left it to her because I didn't want to deal with that way. I was like, I didn't make that mess. I didn't buy all of that stuff. All that stuff you got, you don't even have it in front of you as we going on in life. So that's your problem. That's your problem. And I had that said to me one time when it came to finances. That's not my problem. That's your problem. And what did it do? It brought so much friction, so much arguments in that marriage, because handle your business. I'm handling mine. Handle your business. That was my attitude. And that was the wrong attitude. So when it came this time around, as soon as I opened the letter, straight to the boss.
But look at that question right there. Does financial status determine whether two people should get married? Well, in what way? Negative or positive? Negative or positive? Because we see people with a lot of money get married. You understand? I don't want to call names. You understand me? But the baseball player, the movie star, and they get married in another week, they're not married. So they had another problem. So they have the money, but something there wasn't. Maybe it didn't chemistry-wise, maybe it didn't work. But I believe that if I had learned about the finances, you understand me, and managing it, I would have been in a better place coming out of the woods. You see, because it's very important that I must know who my wife is. My wife might know who I am. And where is my weakness? And where's my strength? My wife is the better paymaster than me. I'm telling you. I'm gonna get it next week. My wife said, here you go. Let's go. She do better in that. So what? I give her that. I give her that responsibility. So now that's discussion now. Now that you put things on the table, right? You realize now I have a debt. Okay, we're gonna move forward. We're gonna say I do. We're gonna have a wedding now of say 50 people. Maybe we can have it in the hall. We wait till summertime, clean out the backyard, we can have it in the backyard. You understand? We do it in a small setting. And because people got dreams, man. The dream to get married and a dream to have. And I went to this wedding, man, 300 people. You know, it's 300 people, man. 300 people on a Sunday afternoon. They choose Sunday because Sunday is more inexpensive, right? But 300 people, I think about at $80 a plate. That's 20-something $1,000. That's food. What about limousine? What about dress? So that marriage was, that wedding, when I talked to the guy, maybe like $40-something thousand. $40-something $1,000. Now, but they budget themselves to do that. They were planning about 3 years out. So they did not go into a big debt. And you know, sometimes we go to a wedding, we don't even take $1. We go to eat. Italians take money, Jews take money. But we just take a card, thank you, man, enjoy life, you know. But the whole idea, now that you know all of this, how are we going to approach it now to start helping one another to get to that place where they need to go? Pastor Tito.
I'm looking at the question. Does financial status determine whether two people should get married? It's all depend upon our position. When it comes to, the Bible says two can only walk unless they are in agreement. And marriage is like you have to have a plan, right? Because grandma say you don't see something in the daytime and take 5 sticks for look for it in the night. If one is reckless in their spending, if one have bad financial money management, then these things have to be discussed. Either one, you go and get financial counseling. It's cheap. You can go and get financial counseling, how to manage money, how to do certain things, because whatever one does affect the other. The Bible said the two can become one flesh. Whatever, like for instance, my wife and I, when I met Angela, I just came out of a marriage. I was divorced, and everyone know when you get divorced, it affects everything in your life. It throw you back about 7 years financially. But I had a plan, right? I had a plan. My wife had a plan, and so we matter of fact, when I first got married to Angela, we went to the courthouse, and I got a candy ring. I didn't even have money to buy a ring, and I bought a candy ring, and I placed it on her finger, and I married her with a candy ring. It felt so cheap that I have like 2 anniversary, because I'm like, we wait all day only to be married in less than 2 minutes or something like that. And let's go and have this big wedding, right? Let's go and get this big wedding. But there's a couple things that it proved to me. One, that she was not into material things. Or priorities was set. When I met her, she had her own house, she had her own car, she had a career, everything was going fine. In today's world, the women would say, why would I need a man? I have whatever is it that I need. But to see her humility, I know she didn't get married to me for money because I didn't have money. You know, like back then, prior to, I know, in retrospect, looking back, people just marry you or connected with you for what you have to give to them. But here I'm seeing somebody that just love me for loving me.
Amen.
And so the money thing was easy because I didn't have any money. And she said, well, I got you. And coming from where I'm coming from, we don't that doesn't, a woman taking care of a man, that's not, we don't do that. We work hard. So first of all, one must have ambition. That's what I'm trying to say.
Amen.
One must have ambition. It's one thing not to have it. That's not a problem. But what is our ambition? What are we working towards? And you set this guideline because we have to work towards something. You don't have it now, but what is it that you're going to do to get it? What is it that you're going to do to make our family better? What is what we're going to do to make our family? Because you cannot keep doing the same thing over and over and expect a different results. If you're a bad spender, then you have to stop spending. We spend money on things that matters. And write the list down. Write the list. What is important? Do I need 10 pairs of shoes? Do I need all of these shirts? The truth be matter, when I had money, it was more stressful. I was much contented and more happier with a little. That I have to beg and just, Angie, get some pocketbooks, get shoes, I'm like, you're the first woman I see, you're not into stuff. And I have to encourage her, girl, let me go to this, get this bag. I have to not buy these things. I said, just enjoy yourself. It's okay not to feel guilty about spending on yourself. It's okay to stop to take care of you, because some people we invest into other people. We take care of our children. We take care of everybody else except for ourselves. And so both parties must have a certain mindset. If you're going to marry somebody that don't have money, you have to be willing to deal with what comes with that, because your life will be much tougher with it, because especially living in a city like New York City, man of God, you guys pay like thousands of dollars on an apartment. Our life will be much tougher if people are not both equipped to deal with money or have sufficient money. Because when the bills is not being paid, when things are not happening for you, as much as you love the guy, like this friend, one of our friends, just get this guy. She left the guy in another state, moved to Georgia, started doing well, and then the guy come back into her life. She was advised against it. Now she's upset and mad. They repossess his car. They take away everything from him. Guess what's happening? She's stressed out because now you was happy all the time. Now you come and take on problems. Not having money, you can't sleep. A lot of people that have demons and seeing demons in church, some people, we have a lot of church people that see demons. Has nothing to do with demons. All because you don't have money, you start seeing things.
Wow.
You give some of those same people money that is having nightmares in church, give them money, and you will see the difference in the vision, how they're going to start seeing things. The dreams become different.
Wow.
Because money, the spirit of poverty is demonic in nature. It comes to cripple you. It comes to embarrass you.
Wow.
It comes to give you diseases.
Wow.
It comes to make you look old before your time. When you don't have money, it's a bad thing. And so when you do have it, you have to know how to manage it. That's why Jesus had a problem with that one when he talked about the parable, with that one guy that did not invest his money.
Called the wicked.
You're wicked.
Wow.
You're slothful. You're evil.
Wow.
A man that is incapable of taking care of his family is worse than an infidel. The Bible says you have denied the faith. I want you to think about this kind of thing. You have denied, the Bible says you're worse than an unbeliever.
Wow.
A wise man not only leave an inheritance for his children, but for his children, and his children. You got to leave some stuff. And this don't come by being poor. We have to leave stuff, and we're not talking only financially. You have to leave. Teach them wisdom. Teach them about God. Teach them about things that will change a nation, change generation. Teach our children how to invest. Teach our children about real estate. Teach our children about life insurance. A lot of us, as Black folks, we will get. Most of us, our family will get rich when we die.
Wow.
So we have to invest. Think about them. Before, if you really love me, get that life insurance. You claiming that you love me, go and get that life insurance. Because when you die, glory be to God, you want to make sure I can maintain my lifestyle. You don't want. I don't want to be going to what we have here, Pastor. When people are God going back for money, we call it the program.
Oh, GoFundMe.
We don't want no GoFundMe. People don't like talk about debt. Talk about debt.
That's common in the barbershop. The guy with the big chains, the gold teeth, the big car, when they die in the street, they always come to the barbershop. It's always a kid in the barbershop to bury some street kingpin. It's always, ask any barber.
Oh, God.
Neighborhood guy who was
My God.
go down, the kid comes to the barbershop. And it's like, wow, what happened to the big car? The rims, the gold teeth, the chains. They took care of everything except what they were supposed to take care of. And you find out that all of it was just a front and they had no money.
And leaving the wife to suffer, leaving the children to suffer. Money is important. Bible said it answered all things.
Hold on, man. What made me laugh is the barbershop.
They come to church to Pastor.
Huh?
They come to the church, and when the church can't help, they more mad with the church.
We got a call coming in. Good morning, caller.
Good morning. Grace and peace. Good morning, Bishop. How are you? Good morning, Pastor Tito. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes. This is Thania Elder Williams from the Glass Table Talk. I am calling because this topic is just a little scary for me. I am loving everything that's being said, and I do believe that money is important in marriage, but I have a few questions in hearing what is being said. I do believe that the church has a responsibility to teaching us how to navigate these processes in money and marriage, personally, income, life insurance, and all of those things. The issue that I have is that being from a divorce situation where I was left basically in debt, basically having to pick up pieces in life with children, of which I had 5 at the time, 4 at the time, rebuilding, and then being in ministry and being so ministry oriented, where we know that a lot of times this does not give us what we need in order to live, right? How would you deal with the situation where you want to be in a marriage? God has set for you to be, and I'm speaking about anyone, but there's still this issue of finance.
Pastor Tito.
Well, you said God have intended it to be, and if God has intended it to be, then God will make a way where this seems to be no way. But I think God is a wise God. When God created Adam, the first responsibility he gave to him was work. Amen. The working is important. A man must be able to take care of his family. If they're in life, like in like what we have now, both parties are working. Both parties, have money, and so we both now things are so expensive. We both now have to chip in. Right? They should meet. One of the things that my wife hates is if I go to if she go to pay for something and I said, "Oh, let me put my part in." She just ate that, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's one. We are one. The money is our money. We have to put the resources in the all our money into one pot. And if only one person is putting in and the next person not putting in, it's going to be much difficult. If
I agree.
the person so let me just say they want to be in this thing. It's not about the marriage is not about money. Marriage is not about all the extra stuff, right? But it does matter. That's why communication, sex, and finances. Now finances get to the top of it because it matters. And so
Understood.
if you're going to get involved in something and the person is not pulling their weight, then when something is not pulling their weight, what do you have?
You have an issue. You have
Yeah,
a very
it's like
bad
a
issue.
burden. It's a burden because now the person become a burden because now you're trying to pull them, and it's not like they're cleaning the house. Some of these people that they don't try to chip in other areas. So let me cook the food because my wife, let me just say the husband is not working. My wife is, she's out working. I'm going to cook the food. I'm going to take care of the kids. I'm going to get the homework done. I'm going to do this. Like chip in to make life much easier.
Yes.
I love it.
While
You said that.
while you try to get back on your feet, while you try waiting to get back on your feet, chip in other areas that make the situation much easier because now the woman don't have to feel overwhelmed because she's doing everything. She have to take care of the kids. She have to cook the food. She have to clean the house. She have to give this guy sex. That's not even taking on his responsibility.
Mm.
We have to work. Make the dream work.
I believe, sir, that that when you go into marriage, and I've been married before, and there was no purpose in it, so there was a total confusion. Even when the money was there, it wasn't handled properly because there's no purpose. I believe that the next time going in, it should be purpose driven, and I mean ministry purpose driven, where everything is understood that this whole thing, even marriage, is a ministry.
It is.
Be treated as a ministry. I did not come up in a household where there was a whole bunch of money because my household was ministry oriented and God always took care of us. I believe that the shift in the issue is that even with women, and I'm going to talk about women because that's what I do, women, right? We don't understand what our contribution is anymore to the household. Even if we are bringing in some kind of income, I believe there's some primary responsibilities that a woman has towards her household husband in taking care of him. This mindset has been so polluted when it comes to money, when it comes to sex, when it comes to children, that we're so much trying to conform to the societal pressures of living like the Joneses and having and doing and being the most, that we miss the purpose, and that's why these issues become a problem.
Amen.
I am not a 1,000 pocketbook person, and I'm not saying that people shouldn't have it. But my thing is, we've gone from lip gloss, lip Vaseline, or simple lipstick to hundreds of dollars in makeup. We've gone from buying shoes that are economical and comfortable to killing ourselves with high heel red bottoms that are killing our feet for thousands of dollars. Does that make sense? To me, that's a woman tearing down her house. I'm sorry.
It is, and I like the contribution that you are making with this because going back, men of God, and women of God, what matters? Because many times we deal with a marriage, the marriage day. Everybody invests thousands and thousands of dollars in the celebration instead of the marriage itself. Because forgetting that after the wedding day, you still have to go home and take care of your credit card bills. You still got to go and take care of your family. What really matters? Is it trying to we call pamper scene or impress people? That's a lot of us have poor habits, and it's called poor people habits.
Right.
Poor people do things like lottery and like a lot of lottery and like we can't wait until the tax return come. Like we waiting for our tax return to come so that we can like we can do certain things. Like go to the mall right now. For those people that receive the check, the mall of Georgia is very big. During the pandemic, they share out money. And thousands of people pack up at the mall in the sneaker shop, trying to buy expensive sneakers. These people invest in $6 or $7 to make one sneakers, and you paying $400 for sneakers.
More.
The Bible talk about a false balance. It's an abomination unto God. And so
I'm sorry, sir.
Yeah, there has to be a balance in our life as believers. Because you cannot want to be doing certain things and expect a certain results. A foolish person will try to destroy the thing that they're trying to build. You can't try to build something and at the same time trying to destroy it.
Wow.
You got to be intentional. If you're spending money, it has to be intentional.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
I want to add to the mentality of the money and how it came in, because you mentioned the pandemic. The pandemic, when I did receive a fund, I'm a nurse by LPN by profession, right? I'm also in ministry. So when that money was received, the hard work was hard, right? So I invested that money into some printing things so that I could continue to make money. I think that's the mindset. It wasn't a shoe, a pocketbook, a this, or that. It was so that I could reproduce something that would keep me and my family going.
That's it right there.
Woman.
The next thing is I have a saying that I say that because I'm in ministry, I cannot work a nursing 18-hour, 12-hour a day shift because it takes away from my primary purpose, which I believe is my ministry. And so when you look at that situation and women are running around, it's hard for women in ministry because, this Boaz thing, I need a Boaz. I always say I need a Joseph because I'm pregnant with the purpose of God. I need a man who understands that I need the support to get where I need to go and deliver without the intimidation and with the support. This is not saying that I won't contribute financially, but I think it needs to be a clear understanding of who I am, what I do, and then I need to be able to balance ministry with taking care of my household and my husband and you understand? My children are grown, so that would be my husband. I think the balance and clarity is skewed when it comes to these issues, especially now in the mindsets of women, because when you look at the pattern of the world, women are those who we're going for what he's driving. We're going for the money that he has. We're going for what he could give us. There's no ministry towards that. Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense. And that's I think the true purpose of a good marriage is not because I think the church have been being caught up in the commercialized thing when it comes to marriage. Marriage is more of a business transaction. Right? Is not what back in the days we're going to build together. When you look at the older generation, they're building together. The man come home, he take his paycheck, he put it on the table. You understand that the wife was the manager. She would manage the house. She would make sure the children are taken care of. She would make sure everything is done. Yeah. And there was also money that was being saved. In today's world, people are so materialistic. And especially in the church, because we watch too much TV. We looking at stuff that people renting. These guys are renting the cars, and they're not even, the stuff doesn't even belong to them.
Renting the jewelry, renting
the clothes, renting the outfit, because they want to have this kind of persona, whereby you're trying to live up to some expectation with people that don't even have it.
So,
You
wisdom.
want your husband to be something. Oh, why can't you get me this? Why can't you get me that like sister next door? Because I'm not that person. So we need to learn how to. The Bible said godliness with contentment is great gain. And yes, we can spend money if we have the money.
Mm.
Right? The man of God said it earlier. My spending is not your spending.
Not.
I might be able to afford to buy something for $10,000 and it doesn't even touch my bank account. You might be able to spend something for $5 and it hurts you a lot.
Mm.
So my spending is not your spending. You don't know what I've been through to get what I have. So
Exactly. And even when the finances are there, because I've watched my mother, when the finances are there, this woman would see a shoe that she could afford, but refuse to buy it because she knows the price is going down. By the time she buy that shoe, she has enough to buy 2 shoes because she waited.
wise woman.
In the way that we're doing things. You know what I mean? I always tell my sons this. If you meet a woman and you have flour, sugar, oil, water, and she goes into the kitchen and she can't find anything to make for you, there's a problem.
Where you from, my sister?
Huh?
Where you from originally?
I'm from Panama. I'm Panamanian.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
In any case, if you have oodles and noodles and some eggs, there's something that you can go into that kitchen and make to serve that table.
That's it right there.
And I think that's the mindset that we need to gift, and I'm going to say gift, to the young ladies that are coming up now because they don't have it.
Teach them.
Mm.
Because they don't have it.
The prophet asked the question, what do you have?
Mm-hmm.
What do you have?
What do you have?
When you're coming for your Boaz, you know all of them need a Boaz.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody want to be saved. Every woman want to be saved. Everybody coming to the church looking for a Boaz. They want to be saved. Everybody want $1 million. They want this, they want that. The question is, what do you have to offer?
Mm.
What do you have?
Because a lot of people want. That's not a problem. It's okay to want these things. Now the question, what is it that you have to offer? Do you have these things that you're looking for?
Mm.
Because what you want, you have to be willing to also bring those things to bring those things to the table. So, like for instance, I was saying earlier, when I came to Angela, she had something to offer.
Mm.
It was, and I realized it was a different mindset to my past. One had something to offer, and I had great admiration and respect.
Mm.
The next one, take. So the respect level was different.
Mm.
So, women, I encourage my daughters, thank God for your good looks. Because the good looks will only take you so far for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes of a discussion with a real man, what is it you're going to do? A man want to know what's in your brains. Are you able to stimulate them mentally? Right? Because this sexy body, couple of years, you can get switchly, with her. It's not going to last all the time. So we have to get something to bring to the table. Bring some substance. Bring some value. Bring something that they call a helper. They help meet.
Mm.
To help this man. Go, brother. Go, my brother.
I got a question.
That may not always be on the in finances, because even when Boaz saw Ruth, she was working. She was on the threshing. She was working. She was putting her hands to something.
But you know what? I was just thinking about what did Boaz admire?
Mm.
Oh,
Boaz didn't just, she looked good. Boaz had some, I was just thinking about that. Ruth. But somebody was able to also nurture Ruth.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You want a Boaz, but the people who nurturing you have a Michael.
That's right.
And Michael don't work.
Mm.
But the one who nurture you don't work either. But guess what? It was very important, Naomi,
Mm.
how she nurture. You see, because when this is why they said that all the women
How to teach.
have to teach the younger women how to do it. Loving your husband, oh, and cook for him, okay, that's one thing. Oh, I have plenty of sex, that's another thing. But could your wife learn to manage finances? You see, sometimes I see my wife here putting two things together, making it work.
Mm.
Mhm.
You understand me? Not like we say, there's nothing wrong going out. We must go out.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Must go out. Yeah, last week we went out. And some place we go is the food is good, but it carrying a good cost.
Mhm.
You could call me cheap, you could call me whatever. I'm looking at the cost.
Mhm.
The Bible says you should count the cost.
All the time.
Count the cost. Because some places you go, they're really exploiting and jacking up the prices.
Yes.
You know, like a hero is $8.50 now.
Jesus.
Look
Yeah.
at that.
$2.
Yeah, it used to be $2.50. Now put more pressure on the family. You gotta
Mhm.
give, before you could give your son 5, they gotta give him 10 now. And the next day another 10.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you cannot buy the hero bread, slice up and dice up and wrap it, look and go. If you want to know, compete with the person who they're buying it from. Go to the store, buy one, open it up, see what they put inside.
Same cheese.
And all you gotta do is mimic the thing
Mhm.
and wrap it up and give it to each other and say, hello, I'm your new bodega.
Mm.
You know. But ladies and gentlemen, Elitai, thanks for joining.
Thank you.
So much.
Amen. Next week, I'm going to have a friend of mine who's a financial advisor. I'm going to call him as I get off and tell him I need him on the air to talk about financial advising people with finances. I was on the phone with him 2 nights ago, and the amount of stuff he was talking about, man.
Mm.
How some people came into money, and guess what he says? He said something to me. This friend of his came into money like $300,000, and if you see, and he told him, in the next 2 years you're gonna be broke. You'll be right back here asking me for $5.
Bad habits.
And the guy said, "No, man, no." He said, the way you going, you need financial structure.
Mm.
Just like how you need to know the Bible, now you need to know the Bible on finances.
Mm.
And he's an advisor. So I'm having him on next week. I'm gonna call him, amen. And so we could tap into that mind. Because sometimes when the church start begging the world for help, we're in bad shape. We're in very bad shape. We're supposed to be the leaders in it,
Amen.
leaders of tomorrow. You see, getting this kind of knowledge. When you're young, you're dating, they must be talking stuff of substance. Young man, substance. That person must walk away from the table and says, what kind of man, what kind of woman is this? That we come here to get to know one another. We talking about finances, credit. You understand? Are you in debt? You know what it's about a child to be dating at 18 years old and in debt?
Mhm.
When we 21, he gonna be buried.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
they're young, they need to be sitting down talking about substance that makes sense. And our club you going, where we going to party next week? Which bar we going to next week? Wait, first thing, are you taking me shopping?
The word is I deserve. I deserve this. I deserve that.
But they deserve to talk about stuff that is of substance.
That's I was in the restaurant the other day, right?
Mhm.
We have a grown man. I had a grown sneaker man. He has a fancy sneakers. It's looking like goldish, but a grown man, and he's FaceTiming somebody and he's boasting about showing him his outfit. You see this, and he talking about how much he paid, and I'm like these things amaze me sometimes to see grown people. When I was with my mother, living with my mother, I bought one sneakers for $200. When I moved out on my own, never ever again. 30 something, 40 something, that's it. So we got to grow up, man.
Mm.
Amen.
But ladies and gentlemen, we thank you so much for joining us this morning. We give God thanks and praise on behalf of Pastor Tito. Amen. E.H. Bullock. Amen. We want to say thank you, and myself, we love you. We will be back. By the grace of God, we will be back next week.
Amen.
And I'll be bringing in a financial advisor. Amen. And this young man, I'm telling you, he started telling me when he was doing taxes, why he do taxes. And he said, man, and he said when he was doing taxes and working for some tax agencies, he says, when he looked at what he was making, working there, he said, now I got to go to school and up my game. So he went to school.
Mm.
He went to school and learned about taxes. And that wouldn't satisfy him alone. Because when he starts seeing the return that people are getting, and a lot of them are not structured wild finance, he just went to spend another $70,000 on himself. So people like that is in my corner. You know, they're in my corner. So, ladies and gentlemen, next week, amen, we will have my brother. I'm going to call him in a few minutes so I could connect quick with him and let him set aside a date for next week. So keep it locked. Amen. And this could be learned in any country, not just here in America. Any country, Guyana, Trinidad, Barbados, wherever you at. Finances play a major role. Pastor Tito, thanks for joining us, my brother.
Amen.
We love you, brother. E.H. Bullock, thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us. God bless everyone, and God bless everyone living soul.